Welcome back, and here we are in chapter 5, which is where we're going to put our character together. So when I left you at the end of chapter 4, I asked you to create those 3 extra materials, which were the glowing blue, the grubby wall, and the grubby wall 2. And hopefully you've gotten okay with that and you've been able to apply those materials around your level. Before we move on, I just want to show you what we're going to be putting together in this particular chapter. So if I just hit play, you will see that we have our character. So this is Blip, and you can see that he now has animations applied. So there's his idle animation. He can run around. He's got a jump, and there is also a walk animation in there as well. But you can't see it unless you use an Xbox controller or some kind of controller with an analog input so that you can vary the speed. So you can see that everything still works. We can pick up the key card, we can open the door, it's all good. So we need to set about getting that all put together in this chapter. In this step though, we're going to do the setup for it. This is the level as we left it at the end of the last chapter. And what we're going to do is create some folders so we're ready, and also we need to get rid of the character that we brought in because he's not the right one. That one was brought in just to get the materials right. So let's get him deleted from the project. So what we'll do is open the content drawer, and then we're going to go to our meshes folder, and there's the material test version, and we're going to hit the delete key while it's selected, like so. And it will have a little bit of a hissy fit because Unreal Engine's saying, you sure you want to delete this? It's in your level. And we know that we do want to delete it. So we're just going to click on force delete, and that gets rid of it. And now we can set about bringing in the proper version. So we're going to go back up to our content folder, and now we need to create some new folders. So I'm going to right click and create a new folder, and I'm going to call this one Blip Character. Nice. And within this folder, I need to create 3 more folders. So the first one is going to be called Blip Mesh. Just like that. And then the second one is going to be called Blip Anims, which is where the animations are going to go. And the final one is going to be called Blip BPs, which is where his blueprints are going to go. Okay, next we need to bring in the right version of this character, the one that's got a skeleton in it. We need a skeleton to be able to use the animations. So let's go to our Blip Mesh folder, right click and import. And we can now move to the chapter 5 folder in the resources folder. There's a Blip folder in there, and there are some different files there. You can see we've still got the face texture in there just in case you need it, although we've already got that material created. So what we'll do is just go to Blip Mesh. This is the one that doesn't have any animations on it. So let's open that. And then we just need to make some checks here to make sure it all gets imported properly. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that it knows it is a skeletal mesh. So it does that here, force all meshes type, and we're going to tell it it's a skeletal mesh. And that then should do everything that we need it to. I'm then going to just make sure that everything else is as I want it to be. So we're not importing onto an existing skeleton, so that should say none, which it does. Import skeletal meshes is selected here, so that's good. We're going to leave that as it is. Make sure import animations is deselected in this case because we don't need it. I don't want to import any materials, so I'm going to deselect that. And I also don't want to import any textures. Our materials and textures are already created. And then we can click on the import button. And you can see this now gives us 3 different assets for the character. So we've got the skeletal mesh, which is the one that we're really concerned with for this project. There's also the skeleton, which we can edit, but we don't need to for this. And there's also the physics asset, which handles the collisions and things like that. So what I'm going to do is just click on Save All, and then Save Selected. And then we just need to get the materials put back on there again. So let's open Blip Mesh. And you'll see the static mesh editor for this is a little bit different because it's a skeletal mesh. So you can see all parts of the skeleton are listed here. And we've got a hierarchy of the bones there. And there's a few other things we can change that we don't need to worry ourselves with. All we're going to do is set the materials in the bottom right hand corner here. So let's now get these materials applied. So I'm going to highlight this one. That looks like the glossy plastic. So we'll add that. Let's highlight the next one. That's going to be the chrome parts. Put Blip Chrome on there. The next one looks like the black rubber. And the final one must be for the face. There we go. And he's looking beautiful again. So let's save that. And then we can close that window. So now in our content drawer, we can see that we've got all different types of the Blip mesh ready to go. In the next step, where we're going to need to bring in the animations so we can get this guy moving. So I'll see you in the next step for that. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. If you'd like to help me create more content like this, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon. The contributions I get through Patreon make a huge difference in keeping this channel going. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to make sure you don't miss my upcoming tutorials. Your support and engagement mean the world to me and help my channel continue to grow. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.